Hey guys, okay, so let's get into something a little bit more interesting. Let's start off with modeling. Okay, we're gonna start off with nurbs and curves. Now I don't use these often. I use things for symmetry. So if I'm creating something like a vase, a glass, or pipes or stuff, then it's pretty cool to use this, and then I can convert to polygons later. But other than that, I don't really use NURBS that often. But let's see how to use them. I'll go over the basics of them and see what they're like for you. So I'm gonna create a curve tool. So I'm gonna just cover a couple of these. Here's the CV curve tool. Let's go into its options, and I can see here 1 linear, 3 cubic, 5, 2, 3 Bezier, 7, etc., etc. Now you guys can go over these and see what they do. I'll just cover 1 linear and 3 cubic. Okay, so 1 linear. If I start painting with that, now when you're using curves, always be in a flat mode. So a side view, a front view, a top view. Okay, never in perspective. It's not going to work. So let's go to our front view and let's just draw a couple of these, and you can see they're dead straight. Okay, if I change to cubic, well, let's lock that in. And if I go to create curves and I go back into the options box, all of these squares next to the things are options. They give you different options. If I change this to 3 cubic and I do the exact same thing here, you can see something very different. It rounds my curves, which is quite cool. Okay, so once we got that, I'm just going to delete these. Boom. And I'm going to create something like a vase. Now I'm going to start off on my 0, 0, 0. Okay, I'm going to paint one side of something, and then I will what is it called? Where are you? I will revolve it. Okay, so let's start. A very simple vase. Boom, boom, boom. Nothing incredible, let's be honest. Just paint one side of it, there we go, and then try and lock it off on the edges there. Now remember, I can okay, so once I got that, I'm in object mode. I can right click, go to control vertices. Now remember this little one here, lock to grid. So I can just boom, lock that to the center, and boom, lock that one to the center, so they're exactly on 0. So what can we do with that? Well, there's a couple of things. Now, before we revolve anything or whatnot, remember, if you right click, you can get the options of this curve. If I go on the curve and I right click, I can get all the options of it. For now, I'm going to go to control curve, and from there you can just, okay, let me switch off this snapping. You can just modify, just you know, fine tune your incredible creation, and just make it something a little better. Now if I wanted to add more vertices to this, I'm going to delete these. Boom, selected them, delete them. If I want to add more to this, all I have to do is go to curve points. I can pull one where I want to pull it, and I can say curves and insert knot. Okay, now if I go into control vertices, there we go, I've got another point there. Okay, so it's curve point. Just add whatever you want there. Can I add multiple ones? Yes, you can, by holding down shift, and then you can say curves and insert knot. Okay, so here we go. Boom. Now I've got this one here, and where's that other one? This one, I think. Okay, so let's just create something cool. I'm going to move this down because it's already zeroed out on my axis here. I don't want to move it off there. So I'll move that one. I'll get this one a little bit more in there. Something like that. Try and make it nice and thin. I don't know if you've ever done pottery, but you know, you keep things quite thin and awesome. Okay, something like that. Okay, so if I zoom out, whoa, it's beautiful. It's amazing. Let's do a little pattern here, shall we? So I'm going to go into curve point. I'm going to add one, shift, add another one. Just, you know, add a couple there. Going to curves and insert knot. Okay, so why did I do that? Because I just want to create like a cool little, you know, a little pattern coming off this thing, something like that. Now the beauty is we can change everything later. It's not set in stone, so we good. we good. Okay, I'm gonna grab my scale tool and just scale these, push it all the way down so they're quite flat. And now what can I do with this? Okay, so I'm gonna grab my go back into object mode, select it. I can say curves and surfaces, sorry, and revolve. Okay, now check it out. That's what I got. Boom. Now it's black. There's a reason for that, is because I've revolved it probably on the opposite side, which means my mesh has flipped, which means my normals have flipped. What is a normal? It's the side of the face that should be facing the camera so you can see it. So how do I fix this? I'll show you later on a polygon surface what that looks like. But if I want to reverse these normals, all I gotta do is say, okay, reverse direction. There we go. Boom. Okay, so that's that version of it, the nurbs version of it. Reverse direction. Now I can see it. It looks good. So when you're creating a surface, you've got normals. What are normals? It's like a, think of it as like a little point facing outwards, and if it's facing inwards, it's invisible. Okay, it's facing the wrong way. It's like your skin inside out. So what do? We just reverse it so the normals are facing outwards. Also with polygon modeling, we'll get to that though, and then things function a lot better and smoother. Okay, so if you do have troubles with that, just make sure it's facing the right way, the normals. Okay, so what have I got here? I got my NURBS surface. It's beautiful. It's lovely. And I still got my curve. So if I select everything, hold down Control, and click on the NURBS surface, I can just get my curve. So what does this allow me to do? I can say Control Vertices, and I can continue. Oops. And I can continue to get this thing looking how I want it. I can continue modeling it and see it all happening right in front of my eyes. It's beautiful. Okay, so that's something that you can use NURBS for, to create something really quickly like this, and you know, it's quite cool. So once I got something I really love, really love, what can I do then? Well, NURBS gives you some cool things. If I go down into the options here, and I've got Revolve. Now I don't have some of the, I've got my N sweep 360, so I can do that. We'll cover something cooler later. Okay, now what I did was I just hit surfaces, revolve, but there's an option box there, so let's see what that option box gives us. Okay, if I take my curve again and I say surfaces, revolve, go to my option box, I can see something cool here, something called partial. Boom. Okay, so what is that gonna give me? That's pretty cute. Now we're getting into something cool. I can change it to polygons. I can do you know, I can set it straight up right from here, but I won't. I'm gonna keep it to NURBS for now, and I'm gonna click the partial. Now I'm gonna apply that. Once again, it's flipped. Woohoo! Surfaces, reverse direction, and we're back to normal. So now what did that thing give me? I'm gonna hold down Control, deselect my just get my curve again, and if I go back into my options now, I get something called subcurve. Now what does that do? It gives you the ability to animate it up and down, instead of the other one gave us the option to where are you, to animate it like this. But now, because I put partial, which is a really cool little thing, it gives me the ability to animate it like up and down. So if I put on 1 and I right click in min value and I say key selected, let's go to frame 60 and let us say 0 again. So I've got it on 0 and 0. If I go back to 1, I'll just animate this all the way to 1. I'm going to key select that, hit play, and check out how cool that is. Boom. Okay, and you can go ahead and you can animate the other side as well. So if I've got my Revolve 360 here, I'll put it on 0. I'm going to right click, say key selected, and I don't know where I put the last one. Let's just say 60 and put this back on 360. Key that, right click, key selected, and now I get a combination of both. Okay, so that's quite cool. It's really cool. So you can keep it like this. You can render things like this. It's not good for games. You need polygons, but you can render NURBS. You can leave it exactly like this. But what I like to do is I like to select my object once I'm finished creating a NURB surface, and I like to say create or modify, convert NURBS to polygons. Go into the little option box, and you can tell it what you want. So you can say, okay, I want it quads, I want it general. Let's bump this up because we can change it later, so we can see our corrélation and apply. So if I delete this NURBS object now, I can't go back and change my polygon. So I'm just going to hide it. Okay, that's all I want to do. And I'll take my curve as well and I'll hide it in there in my layer, and I'll just call this curves. Okay. Vase. Awesome. So now this is a polygon. Boom. It's not as nice and whatnot, but I can go into my, if I hold Control A, I can go into my NURBS tessellation again, go into Advanced, General, and I can start playing with these. Okay, which is really cool. You can get some unique shapes. You can do whatever you want. I can bump this up. This looks like it's max, but I can just go in here and put 100 or something in there and get some good accuracy going. Okay, so this is really cool. Now I've got a polygon object from my NURBS surface. So, you know, creating something like this, and this still allows me to go into my curve right here, oopsie. And I can still go in here and start changing things, okay? Which is amazing, and it's affecting both my NURBS and my polygons, okay? Which is really, really, really cool. When I break that connection between the NURBS, the curve, and the polygon, then I can't do anything to that polygon anymore, okay? Or if I delete the curve, I can't do this anymore. I can't modify it like this. So just keep, once you've got your stack, just keep it, hide it, put it somewhere where it doesn't bother you, and at least if you need it's non-destructible. You can go back and you can change things, and it's just really useful to have, okay? Don't delete things that you don't need to delete or that you might use later. Okay, so this covers NURBS for me. For this lesson, there I've got my polygon thing. I can duplicate it. I can put it to the side. Now if I do change this curve, check it out. That changes. The other one doesn't. Your duplicate doesn't. So I can hide this entire thing. Just put it in here. Curves, Vase, add with the polygon and whatnot. Those are my originals. And if this is the one I want to use, cool, I can use that one. If I want to create a little different one, I can go in here, make this one higher, hide all that stuff. Whoa, okay, that's my NURBS, that's my polygon. I can duplicate that one, and within seconds I've got two variants, two different, can I get rid of that one? Remove. Okay, so if I've got something in a layer, if I say add selected objects to layer, I can always go open the layer so it's viewable, click on the object I don't want, and just remove it. Curves, remove selected objects, and it comes out. So there, I mean, this is a quick way of making really quick things if you're doing a garden scene or glasses or piping we'll get into. Okay, next lesson we'll go into like things like pipes and stuff, and we'll cover a few more things with surfaces, okay, and curves. Okay, I hope you found this lesson useful. Please, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. Be nice, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.